Welcome to my reflective journey, Poetry from the Heart. My name is Dara K. Fulton. Along this reflective journey, I take many walks, I visit many waterfronts, and I reflect on many things. Walking along this journey, releasing any barriers around me, people, things, or unexplainable circumstances, still moving forward, taking chances. Can't see the future, only the vision that will someday take me out of Brooklyn, my birthplace, made for the innovative, grateful to be part of the creative. Like flying seagulls by the ocean front, imagination moves like water's current. Sun glides the footprints in the sand, feeling safe in the palm of his hand. Appreciate the moments of each day, taking new steps along the way. When reflecting by the waterfront, sometimes it can just be pure silence. You could be distracted by what you see, or you just simply let your thoughts roam. You think about what's in your heart, how you're feeling at that moment. You daydream, you wonder, you ask questions. Sometimes you get the answers that you're looking for, and sometimes they're still unanswered. Maybe you wonder about people. Maybe you hope for a better life for them or for yourself. Or maybe you just sit there and all you really want is guidance. Sun carries me. Appreciate you as my guide. Some paths are difficult to follow, many bumps to overcome. Glad you're by my side. Take comfort in your presence, planting my feet on solid ground. Walk steadfast with confidence, blessing me with patience. O Mother Sun, continue to carry me through the things I do not know, teaching me a new lesson. Waterfront release. Watching the water ripple along the pier, she releases her thoughts into each wave. The sun beams its light onto water's creases, reflects the color that lies beneath its surface. Breathing in the cool air, she feels the breeze from skies blue. As the boats sail by, she imagines traveling on them, having no concern where they go. Sitting on an empty bench, tourists pass by taking pictures. Women push baby carriages. A couple walks hand in hand. She holds on to hope that nature will pass her love to him. Looking out at city skyline, she wonders if her message is sent. The waves will carry over. The waves will carry over remnants of yesterday's past, recycling the course of time, making each event go fast. The waves will carry over unanswered questions and doubt, voices that echo to be heard, ponder over an easy way out. The waves will carry over tears that fell and left behind. Sky embraces the hurt and ignored, replenishing love that was once blind. The waves will carry over broken shells on the shoreline, clearing the path for new footsteps, feeling whole to walk under the sunshine. There are times when I am reflecting, whether it's at the waterfront or at home. One of the things that gives me comfort is to write. Now, you can be one with your thoughts. You could even speak them out loud if you like. But when you're in a public place, you may not want to do that. So you put down your thoughts onto paper. I usually don't like leaving the house without a notebook and a pen, because the way I think, something always comes to mind, and I always want to be prepared in what I want to say. Sometimes when you're sitting by the water especially, you become fascinated by what you see, whether it's the water's current, maybe the birds that pass by, maybe boats, if any, or you just stare out into space. But you would be surprised that when you open up that notebook and you start jotting down what you're thinking about at that moment, or just random words that come to mind, you'll begin to see how you're feeling at that moment. You begin to take in the elements that's around you, and those elements that will add to your writing, that will add to the reflection process. Pages. Standing by the water's edge, quietly making a silent pledge, letting go of past afflictions, looking to see my own reflection. The current moves in my direction, taking a step forward without caution. Dip feet into the shallow water, my mind goes into a blur. Suds gathers the ankles, creating many circles. Take in a deep breath, desire life more than death. Stand still for a moment, element poses no judgment. Clouds take in my thoughts, nearby seagulls walk like robots. Walk back onto the shoreline, it's a little past 9. The fresh morning breeze puts my mind at ease. Sit down on the soft sand, with pen and notebook in hand. Jot down my inner emotions and unresolved burdens. Wind picks up suddenly, continue to write freely, blowing through the many pages, seeing self in different stages. Contemplate what's next for me as an overcast approaches the sea. Listen to the ocean speak, my hand becomes weak. Light rain begins to fall, feeling ever so small, alone and unaware that God was always there. There are moments in the reflection process when you're out in nature. You may actually think of yourself as what it is that you're looking at, whether it's a cloud or a leaf or a bird or a fish. Sometimes when I reflect and I watch nature doing its thing, I often wonder, if that was me, how would I be? How would I feel? Would I be reflecting too? A cloud. I am a cloud, far up in the sky. Throughout the day, watch me roam around, changing form and direction, sailing along the water's bay. The leaf. Leaf hangs on tree, not ready to be free. Wind blows hard, leaf loses its guard. Falling to the ground, nothing else is around. Leaf is now alone. Wish it had known how to fly, not falling from the sky. Now must find its own way in order to stay clear from being stepped on, kicked around or torn. Hoping wind will embrace leaf from life's face, making it strong for anything and not afraid of failing. In the reflection process, love sometimes surfaces. Whether you're longing for love, or you lost a love, or you're currently in love with someone. Love is a very powerful emotion, and sometimes it's through reflection that makes you realize just how much you have love in your heart. If you're longing for that love, you reflect on that. If you currently love someone, you definitely reflect on that. And if you love someone and you're lucky where that person is with you, you reflect on the relationship. Because it's through reflection that will either define where you stand in that love, or whether or not you're not a part of it at all. I love to love. I love to love, not because it's free, a natural trait that's all me. I love to love with no strings attached, even if the one I love is not an ideal match. I love to love because I care, may cause hurt or despair, which is not always fair. I love to love, not to talk smack, but hope someday I'll be loved back. Love whisper. With each passing cloud, a whisper is released. Soft message travels in the air. Ear awaits, silent note. A reminder that love hasn't deceased. No place of passing clouds. Throughout this journey of love, it moves slowly like clouds above. Lots of give and no take. Something precious is at stake. Entangled into web of seduction, hidden answers leave one to question. This hold that you possess, feelings not willing to express. Not worthy to be in the same presence, yet unable to break free from your essence. Uncertain, confusing fable, with no morals brought to the table. Deep emotions rise to the surface, snatched away like pearls from a necklace. Inexcusable madness causes such sadness. Desire to be seen from the crowd, shouting love out loud. Walks away, ears deaf, eyes shut. Little bit of hope, now cut. There are no clouds in the sky above, leaving heart with unwanted love. Tears fall from the face that still stands out of place. Letting go under sun's reflection. Amongst a small crowd, there's silence. Water reflects sun's light in a distance. Pulling out a notebook, find a clean page. My pen takes center stage. Dearest love, I begin to write, hoping this letter is worded right. Each word is filled with devotion, pouring out every bit of emotion. The man I will forever love, he'll never know except God above. Knowing what is being said will never ever be read. No post or email can deliver this one-page filled answer. Well wishes for a happy life, nothing but smiles, no strife. Efforts made are of no regret, grateful our paths met. Lingering sadness cannot continue, a decision that's long overdue. Folding up the heartfelt letter, treating it like some kind of treasure. Walk down the path's end, still thinking about my friend. Water catches the tiny note, watching it stay afloat. Bigger waves quickly grew, note no longer in my view. Light bounces over moving water, couldn't compose myself any longer. Tears fall, goodbye song plays, reminiscing about the yesterdays. Still hope for a chance at romance, letting go of this current circumstance. Puddle. Teardrops fall onto the surface, cause a ripple effect that's endless. Reflection sets the scene, unraveling itself like a machine. The background is faded. How it got there is complicated. Defeat surrounds the puddle, leftover efforts no longer able to compete, be recognized, shooed away like fireflies. The light has been dimmed, on the heart now trimmed, crying a message with no connection, aimlessly flow in any direction, hollow space completely filled of a vision unable to rebuild. Reflection is a sandwich of emotions. Whether it's happiness or sadness, or just endless questions, it's something that comes from the heart. It's in our soul, it's in our being. What we feel is only to ourselves. Whether we share it with the world, or just let the thoughts flow into the sky. Whichever way you decide to reflect, just know that your emotions are valid. Maybe they're meant to be written down and shared. Maybe they're meant to be kept to yourself. Everyone has a different way of reflecting. Sometimes the reflection process could be a funny experience. It doesn't always have to be so serious or so thoughtful. Maybe it can help you think about your childhood experiences or memories. It can conjure up memories that can be very satisfying for you at that given time. Reflection is something, for me personally, that has helped deal with life's many trials and tribulations. It is part of the journey. It is part of who we are. The Seagull and Me. An afternoon at 2, hearing the gravel under my shoe. Manhattan Bridge at arm's reach. Remember the place I used to teach. Waves crash against the rocks, like a child too big for my socks. Approach the boardwalk to the spot. Sunlight makes the railing hot. This doesn't seem to bother the seagull, now sitting near me. I'm careful. Try not to make any sudden gestures when ruffles his white feathers. Taking out my camera for a picture, seagull is ready for his capture. Watch other seagulls fly around, listening to their squeaking sound. Their wings stretch far apart. Freedom through air touches my heart. Weaving through clouds, what a sight! At times, I envy their flight. Continue to admire and daydream. Seagull remains perched on the beam.